So I get the privilege of introducing Louis, and I was thinking, you know, what would I say? We were talking about him out there. And I can only say this, when we started doing this 3 years ago, we had no idea, we really didn't even know who we were marketing to, right? Number one thing when you're starting a business is like, know your market. We didn't know who we were marketing to, but we just knew that we had to make this place that songwriters could come and play the songs that they had written, and that they wouldn't be background music, and that people would not be talking while they were playing, that they'd really be listening, and they really wanted to hear the stories behind the songs, because there's a lot of songwriters that play out that, you know, the places want you to play Buffett and James Taylor, and, you know, which are all great songs, but we wanted to create a place that we wanted to hear their songs, right, their own stuff. And so I remember when Louis came in for the first time, hearing him play and his songwriting, his professionalism, I was like, wow, this is why we did this. It was for people like this that I didn't even know that they existed. And I was a huge fan immediately, and have enjoyed every time that I've ever gotten to hear him sing. I felt like I had been treated to something that was truly amazing and rare, and couldn't wait till the next song. So, without further ado, please welcome someone that we completely cherish here, Mr. Louis Robinson.
I always thought that there were two words that are the same for happy marriages and unhappy marriages, and those two words are yes, dear. Except that in unhappy marriages, you don't mean it. I tell you this because Lynn, my wife, says, I know what you should start with at Ragamuffin. You should sing that song you wrote about your school days in England. And I said, I can't do that. I wrote that when I was 16 years old. And she said, no, it'll be okay, don't worry. And I said, yes, dear. And then I found out something quite amazing about this song. This song was written by a 16-year-old kid for the specific purpose of being sung by a 61-year-old man. When I was young and easy, and the king of all my days, I rode the vanity and narrow pride of all my ways. All the high-born ladies and all the low-down men are gone and past forever, but I still remember when I was filling up bits of paper, more or less endlessly, telling them what I did for school and what school did for me. Days of reassurance to keep from going mad. I read most every paperback that the Penguin Library had, and I slept through more instruction than was ever good to me. And I dreamt that Annie Sullivan was still in love with me. And as we lay exhausted in my dreams, I had my fill of the silken curls of the wayward girls from the convent on the hill. Patrick's with the clergy now, and Paul is running free, and Nick lives south of Surbiton in tasteful privacy. Angela got married, and Janet disappeared, and Elizabeth has ended up exactly as I feared. And in between the times we put the world to rights, we kissed each other's sweethearts on sinful Friday nights. We fell in love at leisure, and in ourselves we knew that what we said was right, and what we did was true. You see, the older and the wiser ones, they tried to understand our guarded conversations and the secrets we had planned. The coming of the evening, the staying of the night, the pages turned and the lessons learned and the fears we put to flight. On municipal grasses we laid my love and I, close as our embraces and open as the sky. Small she was and golden and cunning as the sun, and when I come to think of it now, she was the only one. When I was young and easy, and the king of all my days, I rode the vanity and narrow pride of all my ways. The king is in the castle, the queen is at the ball, The kids are back in school again. Good God, just bless you all. Or back to your houses and homes you will be, or wherever you live in this fair country. And do you remember, or is it just me, when we were young and easy in the class of '63? Thank you. When the evenings are this way and friends have left in conversation, I can't help wonder what I'd do if I woke and found you taken. Listen now, I've something on my mind. I'm gonna love you a little, long, long time. Now this may be our only hour. This may be my last winter past, for I've seen the silent waters flow, and I know the good times go so fast. Listen now, I've something on my mind. I'm gonna love you a little, long, long time. And when our season ends, my love, and when our winter songs lie broken, and when I've lost you to your time, I'll know every word you've spoken. Sleep now, 'cause I've told you my mind. I'm gonna love you a little, long, long time. Sleep now, 'cause I've told you my mind. I'm gonna love you a little, long, long time.
All right. Yeah.
There's nothing quite so scary as standing up at Ragamuffin, because you look out and you think, oh my goodness me. Everybody's so good at writing and singing and listening. And when I was choosing the songs to sing tonight, I thought, if Gary's there, I'm going to do this one. Because he paid me such a great compliment when I did it once. And he knows what he's talking about. She looked so familiar, I thought it was you. She wore her hair like you used to do, but she wasn't who I hoped I'd find. I can't get you out of my mind. 9 o'clock mornings with nothing to do, coffee for one, not tea for two. I thought that we were sealed and signed. I can't get you out of my mind. All the people we knew back when, I miss them all today. All the places we went back when seem so far away. One day I'll wake up and not think of you. Someday I'll take up with someone new. But till my life's been redefined, I can't get you out of my mind. All the people we knew back when, I miss them all today. All the places we went back with seem so far away. One day I'll wake up and not think of you. Someday I'll take up with someone new. But till my life's been redefined, I can't get you out of my mind. I can't get you out of my mind. Okay. You know, people say, oh, he's a songwriter. Well, I've never actually thought of myself as such, because I think the cult of the songwriter only exists in England, in the United States. In England, we're kind of guys who go around and sing, and every now and again you write a song if you have an idea for it. And I don't think of myself as having this bunch of songs. I think of my having a kind of sack full of souls, if you like, because I keep pulling them out and giving them life for 5 minutes and then putting them back again. And all the people who I have in my little sack are all very unhappy people. Except for one. I'll come to the exception in a minute. I realized, as I think I said that we did a songwriters workshop here on Tuesday, and I was saying that you know, there are lots of things that songwriters or people who write songs strive for. And I didn't think it was originality, because you can't be, can you? I mean, the Beatles have done everything. Then I thought authenticity. And then I thought, nah, you know, because on this weekend I'm going to go off, next weekend I'm going to talk at DragonCon about some of my favourite subjects like Sherlock Holmes and the BBC and Doctor Who and things like that. And all these guys come dressed up as Klingons. And I thought, you know, these are doctors and dentists and dental hygienists and insurance brokers, and they dress up as Klingons and they pretend they're Klingons and Vulcans. And when you go to Eddie's attic, there are all these doctors and lawyers and dental hygienists who dress up as folk singers. So it's not authenticity you're looking for. What you really want to look for is truth. And this is, I think, the first truthful song I ever wrote, because I lived it. I sat there, and there was this guy next to me, and he wasn't very successful. Benedict Christopher Thomas, fumbling his way through the fun, and never fulfilling the promise he showed in his brilliant probationary term. Now the bosses detect his sad lapses, and the clients are starting to guess. Everyone knows only Mary still regards him as quite a success. She's waiting for Chris's promotion, it's surely the least he deserves. And she's polishing windows and tables, and bottling jams and preserves. And Mary would like living somewhere just a little bit grander than here, 'cause a semi-detached in West Ruislip really is something to fear. And it's greener out in Rickmansworth, and Amersham a must. But if we could, it's surely wood or bust. But for the moment contented, as far as can tell, but there's Benedict Christopher Thomas and his yellow Cortina XL, talking of elegant living, all very Sunday times, with holidays out in Bermuda and other subtropical climes. But you're getting older, and have I got some news? You've got the I am not so young executive blues. Christopher Thomas is grimly clenching his pipe and jealously guarding his office from a young university type, oozing Eton, Oxford and influence all over the place. All the word is about that he's on the way out and he's falling behind in the race. And they're coveting his salary and stepping into his shoes. They're borrowing his secretary and knocking back his booze. It's whispered in the corridors and it's written in the news. He's got the I am not so young executive. Oh, the Personnel manager's comfort was it isn't as bad as it seems. We were quite indestructible, taxes deductible, pension redundancy scheme. Now we don't want to lose you, but we think you ought to go. A credibility gap and a slice of the cake and a crack of the whip, you know. So he's selling his free oil and rice slip and moving to Frinton-on-Sea. The company sent him their thanks in a frame, they were really as nice as could be. But Amersham is a world away from Mary, the practical wife. And Benedict Christopher Thomas, he remembers the best of his life. But that's the way it is today. If you don't win, you lose. And get the I am not so and I wish I never got so young executive blues. So when the company calls you, it's safer to refuse than get the I am not so young executive blues.
How many times up here at Ragamuffin have you heard people say it? I wrote that song in 5 minutes. Fact is, he wrote that song in 30 years and 5 minutes. Well, here's one that's brand new. I don't think I've done it here ever before. So Jackie wouldn't have heard it. Jackie's heard all the songs a million times. I've got to tell you that when people say I wrote this in 5 minutes, this song has been actually with me for 4 years. Lynn knows I have gone back to it again and again and again, trying to figure out what I wanted to say and how I was going to say it. And it never quite worked. And about 5 weeks ago I sat down and I thought, you know, I've got to do this, because these two people, these two misfits in this song, they sit in the drawer and they, aren't you going to tell us, aren't you going to tell the world about us, aren't you going to write us in a song? And I thought I kind of owed it to them to do this. So here we are. This is about two very unhappy, but a happy ending, I can tell you that. Lynn insisted on a happy ending. I killed them off in earlier versions of the song, but she said, no, it's got to be a happy ending. And it's called Perfect People. A woman alone, afraid of herself, she sits like settled dust upon the mantel shelf. She's tired and torn, she's singing the blues, with a faded dress and string of beads and broken shoes. Afternoons, in the heat of day, she goes into a movie matinee, where the women are fine and wishes come true. Oh, what's an ordinary girl like her to do? 'Cause she thinks that love is just for perfect people in her technicolor world. Perfect dreams are just for perfect people and not some ordinary girl. He's your average guy, but he's past his prime. He's short and fat and 40, hey, but that's no crime. He's kicking his heels, he's ticking his life away, with a Coke and a smoke and a nugget combo at a Chick-fil-A. He's pumping gas, he has hours to fill, and a movie when there's time to fill. There in the dark, sees her in the glow, sipping soda, fourth seat, second row. But he thinks that love is just for perfect people, and at his time of life it's looking grim. Perfect dreams are just for perfect people, and not some ordinary guy like him. He's looking at her, she's looking at him. Maybe she should trust her luck and let him in. Okay, dinner and a dance, her first time, his second chance. She thinks he's crazy,
a touch of sun, because he thinks that she's the one. But a woman alone, it's good to know, could be the perfect partner for a guy named Joe. And love isn't just for perfect people. Beauty doesn't always set you free. Perfect dreams aren't just for perfect people. Perfect dreams belong to you and me. So here's to lonely hearts, here's to me and you. Here's hoping little miracles like ours keep coming true. He came in from Atlanta, young and unafraid. You know the truth was etched in every chord he played. But the streets aren't paved with diamonds, and nothing's what it seems. And he broke his heart on Nashville Green. He came in from Atlanta, taken by surprise. So many promises, so many lies, so many gates and fences in between a southern boy and Nashville dreams. A beggar at the banquet, a phantom at the feast. Now he's playing gigs in Boston and cabaret back east. And a little pack of powder convinces him he's fine. But man, you ought to read between the lines. He sits in with the pickers in the downtown bars, talks about the old days and the old-time country stars. And all his bright tomorrows are so many might-have-beens, and he lays it all on Nashville dreams. You gotta be a winner, you gotta play the part, you gotta know the secrets of this business we call art. Because stardust and moonshine are so very much the same in this crazy Hall of Fame. There are farm boys from Kentucky, sweet young ladies from LA. They're arriving every minute, every hour, every day, with leather boots and Stetsons and fresh blue jeans, and pockets full of Nashville dreams.
I can't tell you how much I enjoy collaborating. It's all very well writing a song by yourself and putting it in the drawer and having these people shouting at you and saying, let me out. But when you actually sit down with somebody else, you have to come up with the goods as quickly as you possibly can. Rich Healy and I have written 6 together. We kind of get together and we say, let's write a song, and we do it. And you know, I haven't sung many of them out. I know Rich did, you've done about 3, haven't you? And I was looking back over the recordings, and Richard gave me some, usually with the dog barking in the background. And I thought, you know what? When we were writing, we actually said some things which we really meant, but we tried not to think that we were saying what we meant. So this is a Rich Healy, Louis Robinson composition. Okay? I was coming out, sorry, I plugged it back in again.
Yeah, all right.
Good start in there. Teacher says, shouldn't shirk. Sit up straight, get to work. And in my mind the music played and played and played.
got a job, don't know where. Punched the clock, couldn't care, 'cause in my mind the music played and played and played. I'm Woody in the Dust Bowl, Weaver's on the radio, Dylan in the Village, John in Liverpool. I'm every broken-hearted song you ever knew. I'm you. House and kids and don't forget the wife, living someone's perfect life. But all the while the music played and played and played. I'm Woody in the Dust Bowl, Weaver's on the radio, Dylan in the Village, John in Liverpool. I'm every broken-hearted song you ever knew. I'm you. I'm sitting on the back porch, wasting time. I dreamed a dream that wasn't mine, and all the while the music plays and plays and plays. I'm Woody in the Dust Bowl, Weaver's on the radio. I'm Dylan in the Village, John in Liverpool. I'm every broken-hearted song you ever knew.
Bruce was here earlier, Bruce Gilbert, and I sent him some lyrics about 5 weeks ago, and he's mailed back an MP3 after 2 weeks. He said, I've put your lyrics to tune, and this is what turned out. I'll tell you the story best as I can. They say that confession is good for a man. Can't cover it over, can't pray it away. I broke a heart in Memphis. The lure of a ride, the come-hither glance, trap of a temptress, a whiskey romance, the burn of an arrow the very next day. I broke a heart in Memphis. Blame it on the music, blame it on the band. Rhythm and regret go hand in hand, but parties all end eventually. That's why I blame it on me. Too much tequila, too many bars, too much moonlight, and too many stars. Can't blame it on naivete. I broke a heart in Memphis. Blame it on the music, blame it on the band. Rhythm and regret go hand in hand. Parties all end eventually. That's why I blame it on me. Too much tequila and too many bars, too much moonlight and too many stars. Excuses are useless, I'll be on my way. I broke a heart in Memphis. Just off the thoroughfare, most folk don't know that a little place where lovers come to play. A quiet spot to dine, hors d'oeuvres and fancy wine, a little place to shine and steal her heart away. The perfect rendezvous, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But all that value didn't quite appeal. The tinkling piano bar, the Russian caviar, all that la-di-da didn't seal the deal. The waiters, they know how to act just right, casual, never blasé. They know someone's heart will break tonight here in Selina's cafe. At 7 on the dot, he's there, she's not. I guess that says a lot about just who to trust. The empty chair, the roses lying there, another love affair written in the dust. The waiters, they've seen this all before, they watch it every day. Love's cold revolving door here in Selina's cafe. They tell you love is charming and it's a treasure when it's new, but love grows cold as love grows old and fades away like morning dew. And that's the truth, I fear, no happy ending here. And what is more, my dear, no one's to blame. It's just the way of things, the roundabouts and swings, the arrows and outrageous slings of Cupid's cruel game. The waiters, they're wiping the tables down, stacking the chairs away. Time to blow the candle out here in Selina's cafe. Here in Selina's cafe. There's a frost in the air, a chill in the night. Men gather in shadows, far away from the light. Let's talk about blood being shed for a cause. There's trouble ahead, rumors of wars. I'm a simple man, I keep myself to myself. I earn just enough to put food on the shelf, and I keep my head down. I've no dog in this fight. There's a frost in the air, a chill in the night. It's the talk of the town. There's fear in the streets, falsehoods and lies laid out at our feet. They're striking the match, lighting the fuse. They're blaming it all on the gypsies and Jews. See the black limousines, hear the knocks at the door. Friends disappear, and I heard from no more. But I keep my head down, I have no dog in this fight. There's a frost in the air, a chill in the night. I've heard this story before. Every day I hear them say, nevermore. And I know why bad men win, 'cause the wise men talk and the good men wait and the fools rush in. And the simple man, he keeps himself to himself. He earns just enough to put food on the shelf, and he keeps his head down. He has no dog in this fight. There's a frost in the air, chill in the night. This one is on the. Oh, I have to explain. No, I thought I'd be very clever in producing this DVD CD, but I have to explain what it is. It's got 2 discs in it. One is an interview which Tony Langford did with me, and it's actually the kind of demo for my website, Hoover where I interview other people. He interviews me, and there's lots of songs in there, which I recorded at Dave Leonard's place, and it's illustrated. And then because there's some of that, and there's songs that nobody's heard before, things that I wrote for television and radio, and just as a verse or 2 on the DVD, I put the whole song on the CD where you can hear them at length. And there's a little bit of an opera that I wrote, operetta, and there's also some stuff from TV and radio that I used to work in. So all that's there, and it's $10, so it's good value. There's only 8 left. 7 left. So if there are more than 7 people who are desirous of getting one of these things, then I'm sure we can do a little deal. And that's the 2nd run. We'll have to do a 3rd run. But it's such a bore producing. So this is one of the ones on there, and on the track, Dave Leonard. I was telling Teresa earlier. I said I'd like an accordion on this, and he said okay. And there was an accordion. He's such a versatile guy, and the reason was because my father used to play the accordion. He had one song which was called The Naughty Waltz, and he played it over and over and over again until one day he picked up the accordion and he went like this, and it went ee! And there was a bunch of mice inside, and they'd eaten their way through the bellows, so that was it. So we never heard Naughty Waltz again. But what he did do was he borrowed my gramophone, as we used to call phonographs in those days, and my little. I had lots of 45s. I had things like Pat Boone singing "April Love," Johnny Mathis singing "Gina,"
Oh, yeah.
the Chipmunks, Ragtime Cowboy Joe, and my mother and father used to dance to these, and I thought, I wonder how they ever got on, those two, because he never heard a word she said, and she could hear things he'd never say. Some relationship, huh? The storm rolled in on an eastern wind, like the frown of God on a man who sinned. Rattled the window and clattered the swing in the old backyard. I crept from my bed like a thief in the night, slipped down the stairs, hid from the light, and there in the dark was a beautiful sight in the old backyard. They were dancing to old 45s, rock and roll waltzes, jitterbug jive, so full of love they were hardly aware of the boy on the stair, and swirling and whirling around in the rain, Mama and Papa, young again. There I saw how love can start, his silver tongue, her beating heart. No wind nor rain can tear them apart in the old backyard. Time it held no fright, no fear, the passing day, the dying year. They only care for the now and here in the old backyard. They were dancing to old 45s, rock and roll waltzes, jitterbug jive, so full of love they were hardly aware of the boy on the stair, and swirling and whirling around in the rain, Mama and Papa, young again. But that was long ago and far away, though not just another yesterday. 'Cause every time I think of them I see you and me. That was far away and long ago, another world I used to know, a world that I will help you understand if you take my hand and come dance to these old 45s, rock and roll waltzes, jitterbug jives. Together we can put trouble to flight like storms in the night. And while dance is a dance and song's a song, like Mama and Papa we're forever young.
Wow.
There's two songs I never get away without singing. So I don't want to be. I didn't mean to say it like that. I love singing these songs. I don't think I've ever told the story to anybody about the first time I ever sang Michaela. I was in the habit of writing songs about children, about little girls, because they would come up. It all started with Amanda, I'll meet you on the veranda. And then a girl called Samantha came up, so I had to write a Samantha song, and then I wrote a Kathy song, endless songs. And my friend John Zimmer at the time, he was a nice old fella, and he came along and he said, look, can you write a song about my daughter? And I thought, me? Rhyming king of the world? Of course. He said, the child's name is Michaela. And I thought, oops. So I mulled it over for a while, and then I sang it. And as you'll hear, the song, the name Michaela doesn't come till the last verse. And he didn't know. I just said, sit down and I'll sing you the song. When it came to the end, oh my goodness. As a matter of fact, many a time and oft, I've actually had to have a bottle. I've got one here. I'll concentrate on making you cry. A kind of universal song. And I do enjoy doing it, so. May I just occupy a moment fleetingly, though it may seem rather odd when said by me. I want to tell you all the things you used to do and say. Now it is your wedding day. You've grown a lot, it's just not true, and I can hardly recognize it's you. You were a stranger for a moment of your life, but you grew and we got to know you better. And even when we lost our heads a little now and then, oh, it didn't really matter in the end. And that's the way it's always been. We the court and you the queen. And in a mirror once I saw you tossed your head, and I knew that you were growing. Spring came and the winter snows between, the summer afternoons and autumn dreams. May you lead a gentle life. May you make a loving wife. May all your wildest dreams come true, just like ours used to do. And what more can I say? Oh, Michaela, may you always be the lucky one. And just one thing before I'm done, you were really loved when you were young. Gentle life. May you make a loving wife. May all your wildest dreams come true, just like ours used to do. May I just occupy a moment fleetingly, though it may seem rather odd when said by me. I want to tell you all the things you used to do and say. Now it is your wedding day. Hey, now it is your wedding day. Thank you so much for putting up with us both, Jim and me. Next week, who's next? It's
We don't have anything next week,
Sean
I don't
Apple.
think. Sean's coming soon.
That's
yeah.
good. You should
Yeah.
see Sean. He's terrific, and he's giving lessons
Yeah.
in the afternoons, isn't he? So if you're halfway good enough, you'll end up being twice as good after you've had instruction from him. He's an extraordinary guy, and I really think, I'll tell you something about Sean Harper, which I thought was just such a fantastic thing he did. The last time he was playing here, if you remember, there were only about 8 or 9 people here,
Yeah.
and it was pouring with rain outside. And he was just coming up to the end of his set, and 3 people came in outside in the rain, and they decided they had to pay because they were seeking refuge. And he had just come nearly to the last tune he was playing. And he could see they had come into the door, and they were sitting like there. And he knew that he didn't just want to end. So he said to the audience, "Is there anything you want to hear again?" And there were 5 things, Bohemian Rhapsody, and
Yeah.
and he said, "I'll do them again." And basically he put on another little show just for the people who, and I just thought that was classy. So,
Great guy.
pay him back. I'll end with a little song which everybody seems to like, and that's called The Queen of England Limited. And it's about, just in case it's new to you, I just need this little crib sheet here, as you'll see, for an obvious reason. I used to live in Windsor, where I realised that the Queen is a commodity. She's bought and sold by souvenir hunters. And I decided I would write a protest song about the Queen being a commodity. So it's called The Queen of England Limited, which I guess in the United States would be The Queen of England Inc. The only other thing I need to tell you is that when the Queen is in town, they put a flag up on Windsor Castle. Oh, the Queen of England Limited's in residence today. The rumours spread like treacle and the crowd has had to pay. Business is booming, souvenirs are sold. Princess Margaret pizzas, Duke of Edinburgh rolls. And fathers capture families on film without delay, in a Kodacolor Instamatic way. And all because Elizabeth is in residence today. So wave your flag politely and shout, hooray! Elizabeth is in residence today. Shakespeare tours of Shepherd's Bush have advertised the treat. They've laundered all the uniforms and mobilized the fleet. Ladies from suburbia gather gleefully for a frightfully loyal outing at a rightly royal fee. And stepping from the Sharon bank, they gaze upon the home they read about in the April Woman's Own. It's terribly simple, just 37 bedrooms and a throne. So wave your flag politely and shout, hooray! Elizabeth is in residence today. There are Tasmanians in the tea bars poring over maps. Smith's is full of Frenchmen and the Jensens jammed with Japs. Germans marching briskly, Swedes who stop and stare. The Spaniards on the corner, Americans everywhere. They're streaming from the station and they're stomping down the street, aiming to make their holidays complete by getting a glimpse of the English royal family retreat. So wave your flag politely and shout, hooray! Elizabeth is in residence today. There's a widow from Wisconsin with a hideous purple rinse. I'll do the other. The trouble with this song is that there are so many verses, because I wrote this for a radio program, and as the royal family changed, so the verses changed. So I keep getting, I've forgotten that Princess Margaret had died, otherwise I wouldn't have put in the... and what's so funny about it is that I remember somebody sent me a tape a while back, about a year ago, with a verse that I'd forgotten. So this is the verse I'd forgotten. Sing a song of 2.5p, pockets full of cash. 4 and 20 tourists rooked in a flash. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, featuring Mark and Anne, turned out to be an inferior reproduction from Japan. And the Queen Victoria duffel bag has lost its allure. It's just the memory of an unmagical history tour. So wave your flag politely and shout, hooray! Elizabeth is in residence today. So I thought I'm going to test my writing muscles and add another verse too, just for today.
Right.
So this is the first time this verse has ever seen the light of day. A lady from Dunwoody who thought that she was royal is finding it a little hard to be completely loyal. Scanning geological charts for links to kith and kin. Perhaps she's the daughter of Henry VIII and Queen Anne Boleyn. She shuts the books and leaves the room disheartened and dismayed when she finds she's only distant second cousin to a maid. And her interview on Oprah is just another dream, which is what you get for playing the silly game of might have been. But hollow inside, she'd swallow her pride and shout, hooray! If she sees the Queen's in residence today. So wave your flag politely and shout, hooray! Elizabeth is in residence today. But now the Queen of England has left and gone away. There are people to woo and things to do in their own gracious way. But wherever she may wander or casually roam, they're cleaning up around her just like they do at home. When now, because it's winter and the afternoons are chill, they've closed the Royal Highness kitchenette and grill. There's no queuing in the portal or wandering round at will, no serving up of morsel or totting up of bill, no wrapping round of parcel or clocking up of till. There's just a once upon a castle on a hill. So fold your flag discreetly and put it away. Elizabeth isn't in residence today. Mais oui, la reine n'est pas chez elle aujourd'hui. Ach so, die Königin ist heute irgendwo. So fold your flag discreetly and put it away. Elizabeth isn't in residence today.
Exactly.
I'm a BBC producer.
All right.
You have one more? You guys know your lunch board?
Yeah.
Beautiful lady. Let's do the obituary song. Yeah, when I told you that my kids.
Louis, I think it came unplugged maybe, or you hit the tuner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a chorus if you'd like to join in. And if you don't want to join in, okay. Title song.
Ah. Yeah. All right.
That's what the pros say.
The title song of my new CD.
I've played this old guitar in every city. Stood my 15 minutes in the sun. Now all I've got to share are empty pockets and a bunch of songs I've left unsung. Hold on to everything that's true. Hold on, it's all any good man can do. All that a man can do. All that a man can do. Another night, another county, another date, another show, another lonely, cold hotel, another season to grow. Hold on to everything that's true. Hold on, it's all any good man can do. All that a man can do. All that a man can do. Every journey has its ending when there's no place left to roam. And you'll find peace of mind somewhere you call home. Where, oh where are my old friends now? They've come and gone in the long unwinding of my wasteful life. I found
there's nothing faithful as a song. Hold on, hold on to everything that's true. Hold on, hold on, it's all any good man can do. All that a man can do. All that a man can do.